Our next access control model is MAC. Here, the pendulum swings almost entirely the other way. MAC is a strict non-discretionary model defining relationships between subjects and objects, and it's common in government agencies, intelligence agencies, and military environments as well as their contractors. MAC secures data by assigning sensitivity labels, then comparing the labels to the level, the classification level, for example, of user sensitivity. All MAC systems are based on a model from two people, one named Bell, the other named LaPadula, to deliver confidentiality in the most secure way. Bell-LaPadula was the first strict mathematical model, and it uses state machines, in other words, knowing every state between subject and resource object, as well as the transitions and all of the information flows between the subjects and the resource objects. According to NIST, MAC is an access control policy uniformly enforced across all subjects and objects within the boundary of an information system. A subject that's granted access to information is constrained from passing the information to unauthorized subjects or objects, granting its privileges to other subjects, changing one or more security attributes on subjects, objects, the information system or components, and even choosing the security attributes to be associated with newly created or modified objects. They are also constrained from changing the rules governing access control in a MAC model that is almost always done by committee. So for example, in this MAC model, we have the director or the MAC steering committee. They can grant clearance levels to users, usually based on their pay grade or their classification level. They get clearance levels to operating systems, applications, and services. The director or the MAC steering committee also determines the rules. For example, they might even allow some type of discretion to allow an individual to read up on a limited basis to certain files or directories. They also give confidentiality levels to the data or the resource object. For example, the back-end database to a front-end operating system, application, and/or service. The pros of a MAC model is that the access is based on need to know, or even a zero trust model. It must be strictly adhered to. Scope creep is minimized, whereas in a discretionary model, there's a high propensity for privilege or scope creep. Another pro is that the MAC model can also be used in modern zero trust environments. On the downside, however, there's much more administrative overhead. Again, usually done by a team or a committee. You have to define and know all the possible states and information flows and the transitions.